Hello and welcome all to episode 57 of the Spooky Horror Show podcast. I'm your host, Sean. I'm joined again by Anthony. And today we're going to be talking about 2022's found footage.
Found footage.
And it's a Wendigo, but it's not a creature feature.
Wendigo.
But it's the Wendigo. As a reminder, yeah, Wendigo. As a reminder, this season's whole
Premise
is that we have not seen these movies before.
No,
and we are making all of our choices solely based on the box art. It could be that the box art looked really good and we're, hoping that it's good, or we could have looked at the box art and went, wow, that looks like shit. Let's see if the movie is actually any good. Remember, if you'd like to support us, please like and subscribe on YouTube. You can also follow us and rate us on podcast services. You'll notice a QR code below us you just scan that and it'll take you to links to everywhere we are on the internet. Now that that's out of the way, Anthony, it has been about 2 months,
a very long time,
since we've recorded.
This is true.
How has that time been?
Oh, it's been shitty. It's been shitty. It's just been one fucking thing after another. Computer fucked up. Apparently the fucking memory inside the goddamn CPU failed. That's fucking fun. It's only 2 years old. Wife got let go and then got a job like a week later. So that's not a bad thing. But now it's very slow at our jobs for both of us and it sucks. So it's fun.
With nothing to edit, I've been catching up on video games and working on scripts. I finished another feature film, getting ready to submit short films to some festivals. Wrote a script for this artist Finesse 2 times for his Mixed Feelings music video. Then I got hit with 3 hailstorms.
Oh yeah, you had bad weather.
2 tornado watches, 1 tornado warning. But yeah, and then we went to Texas Frightmare weekend. And that was a bust. That was fucking awful. I have videos from it that I want to put up.
You were saying it was like pretty crowded and shit.
Oh, it was. You've never come to a convention with me. I do hope to one day take you to one of these conventions.
I want to fucking go to one of them.
The aisles for everything were maybe 1.5 people wide.
Oh man, that's
so it's like
all.
Yeah, so everyone is just like super cramped in and fucking shuffling around. Pretty much everyone there wanted to see Matthew Lillard. The whole reason we were even going was because my son wanted to meet Matthew Lillard. We get there, you can't just go onto a line to like go up and get an autograph. Them, for a stupid fucking reason, want you to pick up a virtual ticket. But the virtual ticket isn't virtual. It's a physical ticket. You have to find the guy that's controlling the line for that specific person to then get a ticket with a number on it so that when they quietly mumble it over a loudspeaker, you then know to go. Instead of just signing up on the app that they have and be like, I want to claim my ticket, or just doing all paid time so that you have X amount of tickets available for the thing so people could just buy it ahead of time and not have to worry about it. Instead, we would get to the line and they're like, oh, well, we're cut off right now. Come back in 5 minutes. You're not allowed to stand here and wait. Just come back in 5 minutes. And then you come back 5 minutes later and there's a long line of people just waiting there after they just told you not to wait there. And they're like, it's going to be another 40 minutes. And it's like, motherfucker.
I hate that.
Yeah. I was like, motherfucker, I'm at the front of the line. You just told me, the last person at the line, to come back in 5 minutes. It's 4 minutes and there's a whole other line. Give me a fucking ticket. And it's like, no, you got to come back in 40 minutes. Then you come back in 40 minutes and it's like, it's going to be like another hour before we start giving out more tickets. And then all of a sudden they go, yeah, it's officially capped for today. It's like,
they fucking do that shit all the time.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? So yeah, it was like, drove 3.5 hours up to that to then just be like, you know what, let's just go back to the hotel and go in the pool. Then we just went to the pool. It was a nice indoor heated pool. I was like, fuck, I want it.
Oh, that's perfect. Pool. Always better when it's the indoor heated.
Yeah, just to drive home like at the ass crack of dawn. So it sucked. But and that's been my time off. not great. Not as bad as yours. I still
No,
had a
yeah.
computer.
No, I had nothing. And I was very appreciative of everything I had that I didn't play.
Yeah. But all right, let's get into some production facts. I can't
Oh,
wait
God.
to cut that rant into multiple shorts for YouTube. Me just bashing fucking Texas Frightmare Fest. I
How is this
cannot fucking wait.
terrible?
So fucking bad. 2022's The Wendigo was directed by and co-written by
Directed.
and starred Jake Robinson. As I said, it was co-written by Robinson and James S. Brown. I'm a little confused though. The IMDb writing credit has James listed as James S. Brown and James S. Jamie Brown.
There's a lot of
So I
fucking
don't know why the person got 2 credits for the writing. So I'm assuming it's the same person, or it was the wrong person was attributed to the project and then they got the right person, but then they never took the
Okay.
wrong person off.
off. Oh, okay.
So I think it might be that. So it was just like, I don't fucking know. But the film stars Tyler Jean, Jake Robinson, Matthias Margraves, Laura Rodriguez, Hunter Redfern, and Taylor Grace Davis. It tells the story of a group of content creators that go searching in the woods for their friend. He's another popular content creator that mysteriously
Douchebag.
disappeared in the middle of a live stream. The film had an estimated budget of $5,000. That's based on, I think it was IMDb. Yeah. So based on the box art, what were you expecting from the Wendigo?
I guess I was expecting the Wendigo from fucking Fallout. That was my biggest issue with it. That was my letdown, and I don't know why I thought that. But
You were
really
expecting
didn't-
a real monster.
Yeah. I was expecting it to be like something that was actually has substance, and I was very disappointed. It didn't make a lot of sense. 90% of it. I can't even say that. If they looked back on it now, they could have saved the script. I don't think there was one. I think they just were a bunch of dudes that just said, "Oh, we're gonna just make something in the woods."
You're noticing that more and more now, right? All those times I
Yeah.
brought it up where I'm like, I don't think they had a script. I think they just had like this weird
They just
little
went with
idea,
it.
and then they're
Yeah,
like,
and
"Hey,
just
we
went.
got like 4 hours. Let's run into the woods and fucking do something."
That's it. That's all it seems like.
Yeah.
That's all it seems like.
The box art for it looks so fucking cool. It looks so cool.
It does. That's what I mean. It looked good, and I got extremely disappointed.
Just I really do feel that if they did have a budget of $5,000, I have a feeling that entire budget went towards the poster design.
You know, that might be true.
Because the acting wasn't great. The
Makeup wasn't great. The fucking outfits weren't great.
Yeah, we'll get into all that a little bit later, because I have like a 10-page like bullet note thing written, but a lot of it ends up being complaints, because it's another one of those films where, oh well, they're friends, so they're just bullshitting in a car, and it's like, it doesn't serve a purpose. This doesn't serve a purpose for the plot. You're not explaining anything. It's just you talking to this fucking douchebag that there's no reason for him to even fucking be here, and just cut all this out. There's no reason. Just turn the camera back on when you get to wherever the fuck you're going.
And the dude was
continue
such
your
a dumbass too.
Oh,
I
I
can't
fucking
understand
hate
why
him.
he was such a dick. He was a dick for no fucking reason.
Oh yeah, no, he's 100% a fucking edgelord, and it's always people that look like that act exactly like him.
For no fucking reason.
I have no time
Like,
to
he
talk to him.
antagonized everyone.
We'll get into that, but all right, let's do
I
let's get into the plot. Popular streamer, and I really do hate these because they don't. I think we've seen a single film that has properly done streaming and content creating the right way,
Okay.
and that was Deadstream. So far, that's the only film we've seen that
Okay.
has done this right. Because we start with a popular streamer / content creator, Logan, from the channel Logan Does It All. I believe he is doing an intro for a YouTube video, because I don't think he's live yet. But he's talking about he's decided to hunt the Wendigo.
Hunting the Wendigo.
He is not having a great time setting up his tent. He doesn't really know what to do, and he still has all his trail cameras to set up, which I think are just
Like regular trail
GoPros
cameras.
and shit. So, as I said, it really annoys me. All these videos that, movies that they keep trying to convey, like streamers and content creators
In the dumbest of ways.
Yeah, and they're really only taking like the negative examples of the space, not the good examples, like Sea Dog VA that does cyclothon streams where he rides his bike for like 2 weeks across Japan raising money for like the immune deficiency fund.
Well, that's fucking awesome.
You're not taking examples from that. You're taking the example of content creators and streamers being douchebags like Logan Paul in Japan recording a dead body in the suicide forest. Whoever that, I think his name is like something like fucking Johnny Somali or something like that. He eventually got arrested in Japan after getting his ass fucking beat up. He would like walk around Japan with a loudspeaker, and he would have like text to speak on, and it's just spouting like the most racist shit.
What?
He would be on like the train in Japan, and his speaker would just be going off with Nagasaki,
Oh my god.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Finally, someone just like beat the shit out of him in the middle of the street. But it's like they keep taking things like creators like that. That's annoying. The other part that's annoying,
because it sells, because the shop sells.
But here's the other thing that's annoying to me. As someone in the space, and I've been in this space for about
A while.
12 years? 12, it might even be closer to 15 years I've been doing this. It annoys me to no end to see him streaming in the middle of the woods, reading chat, responding to the hearts that viewers are sending him without an IRL backpack.
How's he doing it? Yeah.
Sure. We can
That doesn't
say
make much
maybe
sense.
he's using his phone to stream. Okay? But he's probably using the rear camera.
Yeah.
Especially because it's better for low light. Like your selfie cam isn't as good for low light as the rear camera. But that's still not going to be good because you're still going to need regular light. But okay, he's not filming himself vertically. He's filming himself horizontally, right?
Okay.
That's how you're getting the framing that you're getting. Have you ever tried to read chat?
No. While running or moving around like that?
This is what chat looks like.
You can't
On the
read
phone.
that.
You can't read that while you're streaming in the middle of the fucking
No.
forest on the shitty fucking lens. That's not happening. You could have easily had, like, yes, he absolutely has his phone, and that's what he's using for chat. Because if the whole thing is just chat, you can absolutely do it. That's what IRL streamers use. They have their phones that just have chat on it, and then they have a backpack that has everything else, and then a little tiny camera, or you can now set up like fucking cinema cameras and shit. It's just a matter of hooking up the HDMI into it to send the thing to the thing. But like, there's things you can do. Instead, this guy is just walking around just in the woods. Like, what is he sending the stream to? How is he getting the signal out in the fucking woods? Because I'm pretty sure later the same people come to the woods and they're like, I don't have a signal. So how the fuck was he doing it? It didn't make any sense. And it's those.
It doesn't. The whole fucking
things.
movie sucked.
Yeah, but it's just, I've complained about this for too long. This is just that thing that fucking, it irritates me. It's the same thing with my wife watching anything having to do with like medical shows, being a fucking NP, seeing these things like, no, that's wrong.
Because when you watch it, you're like, what the fuck are they doing? Like,
It's like, did no one turn around and go, hey, no, that's not what it is.
No
That's
one
like if you were
researched this,
watching a movie where someone's supposed to be working on a car and they're taking a pipe wrench to a fucking air filter and everything. And he's just sitting there like, what are you doing? You looked and you went, oh, there's a tool. I'm gonna fucking use that. It's like, no, it's fucking stupid. Anyway, Logan gets scared by some sounds in the woods, and Chad is telling him it's the Wendigo. He yells at them, and then he gets scared, and then the stream cuts out. And then when it picks back up, he's in the tent, and like after, I want to say like a minute, you can kind of see it kind of looks like a horned figure standing outside the tent, right?
Dude, it is not that easy to see that, but it's implied.
Yeah. Well, because it's all shot
'Cause
with shitty
it's-
cameras.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's not really that easy to see anything these fucking people are doing.
Well, because that's the other thing. Where are your fucking lights? Where are the lights?
I mean, well, they're
You're
trying to get that
shit.
whole entire.
Where the fuck are the lights?
fucking
And that's a
mean-
complaint I have later with the other crew, because they're running around. I can understand earlier they're there in the day, but you're still running around in a forest with like tree coverage. It's going to be darker. If you have to go into anywhere dark, you need a camera, and then it becomes nighttime, and it takes them fucking forever to turn the light on. So it was just the whole thing was just super fucking annoying. We see the horned figure standing outside the tent. He's eventually attacked and then dragged out of his tent as his screams echo through the woods. Now we get the obligatory Indiegogo Patreon Kickstarter backer. You paid X amount of money and you get to be in the film portion of this movie. I really do hate these as well. None of these people can act. Their videos always look like fucking potato quality, and the sound quality is fucking trash. Have you ever seen any of these segments where it's supposed to be like, people reacting to it? It's like no fucking Joe Schmo
is reacting to shit like that.
Like, your wife isn't gonna go watch something on YouTube and then go, I'm gonna make that's so lame. No, it's gonna be other YouTubers
trying
reacting
the same thing
to that. That's what that's gonna be. None of their camera qualities are going to be dog shit. None of their microphone qualities are going to be fucking dog shit. Even if you use a newer fucking phone, this phone shoots 4K. It shoots in HDR. Like, it's not hard. These people are using like Razer fucking flip phones. If they can't have good equipment to film these things, then they shouldn't be fucking filming them.
Don't do it, because then you're just gonna lump yourself into like found footage, and really, it's just an outdated phone.
it's just so fucking aggravated. Because the another movie we watched had the same thing, where there was so much of just people fucking just like, oh man, I guess he had a lot of backers that fucking needed to be in this fucking film.
It's
like you couldn't like.
It's like the pizza party, a pizza party of the job.
But it's just like, hey mom, do you have an extra Razer phone that hasn't been charged in the last 15
like
years?
17,
awesome. Can I use that? Like, it's so fucking
got a sidekick laying around.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. And they always, it's gonna happen. And it had a budget of 5,000. Awesome. We're gonna see people that can't act try to act like, oh my god. I even think someone in it started talking about. I think he started talking about Jesus or something.
Remember that.
He was like, you need to find God or something like that. You're looking for the devil. I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up.
I don't consider that talking
it's like,
about Jesus.
Are you writing the dialogue
thing.
for him, or are they just saying it themselves? Like, it's just, I fucking hate it.
Maybe it was a lot of ad lib.
As much as I complain about it, I get it. You want the money to get your shit made, fucking get your money. Like, that's all that matters. Logan's friend, Jay, is getting people together to go find him. This is where I get confused, because
the dude's a dick. Why the fuck would you go back there to find him?
The two main guys are Jay and TJ, and I can never remember who is who.
Oh no! Well, I have nothing vested into this shitbox movie.
Yeah. Oh, I don't care about any of them. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
But he's getting other content creators so that they can all kind of make content going to find him. So it's like it's kind of like a business opportunity, but at the same time, none of these people seem like they're actually successful at any online venture they do. TJ is, I believe, his cameraman, and he's played by writer-director Jake Robinson. They're going to get help from that weird piece of shit dude that you were talking about before, Matthew, to help lead them through the woods. They're also going to get Cassie. No, they're not getting them. The girls are gonna meet them there. Cassie and Kaylee.
Oh, the two, Kaylee? Yes. One of them that, well, I don't know the names, but whatever the one that did it, I think that one, but she's from fucking Trailer Park Boys. That's the only thing I can remember. I could think that she would be in. She reminds me of Trailer Park Boys.
Yeah, and I feel bad calling her a cunt, but like, her character is supposed to be a cunt. She's just a nasty bitch. But yeah, I think Kaylee is supposed to be Cassie or Casey's manager. I don't remember. When Kaylee asks who's in this like search party, she mentions TJ and Jay. Kaylee is annoyed that Jay is going to be there, but Jay apparently is a YouTuber, but he's also TJ's cameraman. I'm so confused with who's who, because at a certain point, I think TJ is definitely a cameraman, but I think at a certain point, Jay becomes a cameraman.
Yeah, they both they go back and forth. They weren't like a set. It didn't seem like they were like a set like people.
But I think all of, because like Jay's talking about like doing this for his channel, and he says to TJ like, hey, you could put this stuff on your channel too. But then Jay is also someone's cameraman, so he's not on camera a lot. So what footage are you getting for your channel? It's a whole bunch of shit of people that don't understand YouTube or how you make content talking about how you make content. It's very fucking dumb. It's all you have to do is watch anyone's vlog.
No, it's like they're trying to do a DIY and sucking at it.
Yeah, it's awful. But see, this is where I get confused because I don't give a shit about any of these fucking characters. I can't even keep their names straight. The manager chick isn't annoyed that Jay is gonna be there. I don't think. I think it's the bitchy beauty like vlogger who doesn't look like she could be a beauty vlogger.
That one's annoyed that
the guy's there. So I'm already confused with what their names are.
Dick.
Well, no, Matthew's a dick. The rest of the other guys are just fucking, they're just there. They're just bags of meat. It doesn't really fucking matter. When TJ, when the guys are in the car, this is like a little bit later. When the guys are in their car heading to meet up with the girls at the park, I think it's TJ brings up that the girls are going to be there, and Jay has no response to it. Like, he's just completely oblivious. So I'm like, why does the other chick hate him so much if he doesn't even have a response to it? Like, he's not angry she's gonna be there, he's not annoyed she's gonna be there. It's almost as if he has no fucking clue who this chick is. So it was all of that was weird, and it's another one of those things where like it doesn't really serve the plot while they're driving. So why are you talking about it? Why isn't it cut out of the film? I don't know. Oh man, yeah, I completely left out everything. Yeah, they go to Matthew's house.
Okay.
And they're like, oh, imagine if that said 666 and it's like 669 or something. They're like, oh, yeah, it'd be weird. And then they go to the dude and he answers his door in a fucking hazmat suit. But then like they start talking and then he gets like kind of aggro at them and tells them to leave. And like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make fucking sense. Nothing about this character makes sense. And then he goes, oh yeah, I'll go with you guys. And then they get in the car and they drive. And then, like I said, it's a whole bunch of talking
out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, they talk about a whole bunch of shit that just doesn't fucking matter. The guys are driving to meet up with the ladies at the park. I don't feel like any of this matters. We'll jump to when stuff does happen. They get to the entrance and they find the girls waiting there. Cassie, think, is talking to Park Ranger Paul. She's annoyed that the ranger won't let them in, but TJ says he'll talk to him. The ranger apparently owes TJ's brother a favor, uses every opportunity to remind the ranger that he owes his brother a favor, and he agrees to let them in to try to find their friend, even though the park is supposed to be like blocked off, especially at night. Here's another thing.
How that works.
Here's another thing that really fucking annoys me, and it happens a lot in these low budget, especially found footage films, where I don't feel like there's a real fucking script and it's more people are just fucking ad-libbing. As the ranger is agreeing to let them in, as he's in the middle of telling TJ, hey, you guys can go in, TJ interrupts him, or Jay interrupts him, whichever one, interrupts him and starts spouting about how he owes his brother, and it's just
favorite. Yeah,
it completely messes up the flow of the dialogue because he's already agreed to let you in, and then as he's agreeing to let you in,
it makes you like you're trying to pull like a rank type thing.
Yeah, it's
like, hey,
it's so
you need to help me,
weird.
buddy. But it's like, I was already helping you anyways. Why are you? It's an unrelated thing.
And it's just, I'm sitting there, and as he does it, because again, how many times have you seen Wendigo?
Twice, and I that's as much as I'll see it.
I've seen it 4 times, and I get angry every single fucking time I see it. Every single fucking time. Every time that comes up, I'm like, shut the fuck up and just let the actor you hired to do this job deliver his fucking lines. You've already said that he owes your brother a favor like 3 fucking times. You don't need to reiterate this to us.
I agreed. They was like, okay, sure.
And he agreed. Plus, here's the biggest shocker so far. Park Ranger Paul has been the best actor when it comes to delivering his lines with sincerity and realism. He's also not spiking the camera like most amateur actors would fucking do, ruining it. So It's like, just let the only person you have that's good at his job do his fucking job. Just shut the fuck up and let it go. On top of the fact, your face isn't even seen. If you need to like add some sort of dialogue in, you could do that in post. It's called ADR. Just fucking do it there.
ADR.
You don't need to fucking waste your time. Get clean audio of this dude delivering his lines better than anyone else in the entire film for the rest of the film. Just let him do his fucking job. Park Ranger Paul goes and lets them in, and as he goes to open it, they start making fun of him. Nothing screams that you should root for us like shitting on a person that's doing you a favor behind their back.
You like that, don't you?
We're supposed to like, when you watch these films, there should be at least a person that you root
can
for.
Relate and like. Yeah, you would think that.
Every single one of these people are a piece of shit. I don't like any of them. I hope they die. I hope they die really terrible, painful deaths. I don't like these people. Like, every single one of these characters suck.
Yeah, they didn't have anything to relate to.
And we haven't even gotten to the point.
Douche after another.
Well, we haven't even gotten. We're getting up to it. Apparently, the whole fucking bullshit with Matthew and him just being a fucking pompous
and
fucking
him
asshole.
Freaking the fucking out like a dick.
They find Logan's car. I feel like the authorities. He's been reported missing. Shouldn't the authorities have like found it after he was reported missing? Like, they drove into the woods and it was there. It wasn't like hidden behind trees or something. It was it was parked. Wouldn't the cops have like come and like towed the car too or something? Like, I don't.
Well, for evidence,
it seems super weird
you would
to
figure
me.
it shouldn't be there. Yeah, it shouldn't still be there. If you, now that you pointed it out, you're like, wait a minute, that's been there for a while already.
Especially remember, Paul said that the park is closed at night, and because of like whatever, it's off limits. So he would have to do a check, and if he had let Logan in, he would know Logan's car's still there. So wouldn't he have had the car towed, if anything? Or even if he didn't let him in, wouldn't he have reported the car and then had it towed?
Not what you're seeing. Subtleties.
Yeah, it's like whatever. Cassie is, or Cassie, whatever the fuck her name is. She's saying or doing something. I don't like her. I want to put that out there again. I just don't like her.
It's terrible. Because you have nothing vested into this fucking.
You don't even want to watch these characters.
I said it to you already. I don't.
They use a drone to scope out the area. It's a big, beautiful lake. Matthew says it's the smartest place to be because of the water and fish that you can like fish for food if you know how to fish. A lot of people do not know how to fish.
That's true.
That's like a skill that was lost. It's like, you just throw the line in and you're good. No. It's a lot more than that.
Definitely not that easy.
It's a lot more than that. Go try that. It's not going to work. TJ spots someone in the distance in a ghillie suit, just standing behind a tree, and it like I could tell he spots it because he turns and stays on it, and then instead of bringing it to anyone's attention, he just ignores it and moves on to go grab more shots. Motherfucker, you just saw a dude hiding by a tree in a ghillie suit.
And you don't want to bring it to anybody's attention so you don't get fucking murdered?
Yeah, say something. Say something. Like, what the fuck? It's at this point I realized that Jay is filming for Cassie and TJ is filming for Jay and Matthew. So I'm still confused about who is supposed to be doing what for whose channel, because they all have channels, but not everyone is on camera.
Have channels. Well, the two girls have their own channel, and then all the dumbasses,
all the guys have channels. So that's 3 channels right there.
They never really specified which one, if they're gonna just use all the off of each other.
Yeah, because then the chick has the beauty channel.
Yeah,
but there's only 2 cameras.
Has nothing to do with that.
But there's only 2 cameras. So how is this footage? I don't know. Kaylee isn't happy that Jay was gonna be there, but now he's her camera guy. So I don't know how that works. Cassie asks the group why they're all still filming, and that douchebag Matt tells her that if they keep filming, something will eventually happen. And when Casey asks what's so scary about this place, which is a weird fucking prompt, Matt responds, "Let me educate this bitch right quick."
That's what I mean. He's kind of just an absolute cuntbag.
Yeah, like no one's gonna say anything about that. Like no one.
Nope, nobody did. Nobody came to this girl's rescue.
Now we're supposed to understand that one of the girls doesn't like Jay. So it's
kind of seems like all of them don't like him.
Yeah, well, they don't like Matthew, but the
That's
two
Matthew.
girls, yeah, the two girls and the two main guys from like the beginning, they know each other. Matthew is the odd man out. Like the girls don't know who the fuck this dude is. Jay was like, hey, I know this guy that could bring us. So the only person that knows this dude is Jay. So who the fuck does he think he is coming into this group of established people and being like, yo, let me educate this bitch right quick? Like, no, you don't get to talk to people like that.
Perturbed.
It's so fucking stupid. And the fact that everyone is too much of a pussy to fucking say anything to him, this fucking fat fucking melty piece of shit. It's like, no. Absolutely fucking not. Come on, what kind of trailer park trash ass people would just stand there and let that slide? Nobody was like, whoa, buddy, turn it down a notch, fucking professor. Like nothing. There's nothing. Then he goes on about how special the Appalachian Mountains, like natural horrors and phenomena are, and they're considered wonders. There's nothing special about those mountains. There are no natural horrors. There's no phenomena that would go like, ooh, there's fucking nothing. All right. He tries to throw Pangea into the mix, saying that, you know.
Oh, I remember him making that. Oh, but it all originates from Pangea. I was like, where the fuck did that come from? Where did we just randomly say this shit?
Well, yeah, because he was trying to say that when the continents were all like one landmass, that Finland, Scotland, and quote, one of those other Viking Norse places.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking
and Southeastern America share an oral history to Appalachia. Bigfoot, gnomes, he claims all came from Appalachia. Bro, Appalachia has nothing to do with Finland and Scotland and those quote other Viking Norse places, okay? If you've ever looked at the map of like the map of the planet in regards to Pangea, the North American eastern like coast would have shared a border with Africa. Okay,
yeah, it like fucking almost meshes straight together.
Yeah, Europe would have been like what would be Europe would be closer to fucking Canada. What the fuck are you talking about? It's so fucking stupid. Matt goes to like cut the intro for his show, which he's calling, I think he's calling it Apparition Nation?
Yes, that's what it was.
Right?
Yes,
and then
I think that's exactly what it is.
Cassie makes fun of him. Now he calls her a bitch for the second time, and people speak up.
And yeah.
Yeah. Jay pulls him aside for a conversation that we don't hear, but Jay just wants everyone to get along and make great content. So far, no content's being made except for this fucking melted body fucking douchebag.
Yeah.
He keeps calling this chick a fucking bitch.
So ugly.
But Casey is being a bitch to Kaylee, and I guess she's trying to flirt with Jay.
These fucking names.
I think Kaylee is flirting with Jay. We now get more talking that doesn't matter. It's just all filler. Walking and talking, more filler. Think Matt farts in the distance. Then we get more walking and talking. Cassie yells at Kaylee for her light because it's too dark and the camera isn't picking anything up. The light should be on your camera, on the whole rig,
yeah,
or whatever. Oddly, Matt finally agrees with Cassie, whatever her name is, that it's too dark, but that it's too dark too soon. Matt tells them that it should have been another 3 to 4 hours of sunlight, and when Cassie checks her watch, she tells them that it's only noon. They walk a little bit longer, and now it's just full-on dark. This is what the Gracefield incident was trying to go for, and failed miserably.
Terribly.
Freaked out, Jay turns his camera light on and they start calling out for Logan. They start hearing echoes, but it's legitimately just them. It did,
because they were the only ones out there at that moment until those fucking idiots were running around.
But now everyone is starting to freak out, and someone, I don't even know who, because everyone just kind of like meshed together. If there are any animals that can mimic human voices, of course there are.
Yes, there are.
But not in Appalachia.
Many that are there. Yeah, not many that are there. That's what I was
dude.
Like, not there.
I mean, if you're trusting the shit that Matt's saying, then apparently fucking like West Virginia or whatever is where they all came from or some shit. So I don't fucking know. Matt gets annoyed and storms off. Cassie and Kaylee Matt gets annoyed, so he storms off, and Cassie and Kaylee, I think, start calling out. No, they spot Logan and then call out for him, and then Logan runs away, so they chase after him. That's where we are. Logan's gone again, but now they found his tent. Matt is suddenly like, he's all amped up. He's super pissed, and he just thinks that he's being fucked with, and he suddenly starts to act like a graduate of Andrew Tate's like fucking Real World. Like it's
god,
it's fucking stupid. He tells Jay or TJ, again, I can't fucking tell them apart, that to get Cassie under control or he will. All right, limp dick.
I still don't though. That's so fucked up.
Cassie decides she's done with all this and walks away. Kaylee tries to get her to stay, but then Casey starts blaming Kaylee for all of this, telling her that this is all her fault because she left and went to college or something.
That doesn't even make sense.
I know.
Because she went to go. Everybody goes to college at some point.
If you're a fucking townie that has no prospects, you don't leave and go to college. Like, and then they usually get mad at the people that did leave and go to college. Kaylee tells her to fuck off, and while Casey is walking into the darkness, Kaylee watches her get grabbed by something. Jay never sees what it is, and then Kaylee runs off screaming that it was the devil, but I think she's running towards the area that Casey just got taken from. I'm very confused because like it's so dark and you're in the middle of the woods, you can't really and they keep breaking the what is it, the 180 rule, or the 180 rule. So it's like they keep
do the 180.
They keep jumping the line, and I can't fucking tell where anything is. So it kind of looks like she ran off in the same direction that her friend was just like abducted from, which doesn't really make sense, but I don't fucking know. Cut to TJ and Matt. Matt is acting weird and keeps complaining about the light in his face, but they need the light to be able to see. So it's like, just don't look at the light. Like that's a surefire way to not have the light in your face. Don't look at the light.
Yeah. You would think that would make sense to certain people, but apparently not.
I was wondering, like, how long before TJ tells him to just suck it up that they need the light to be able to see. But Logan then appears again. He's all bloody, and I think pushes him down. The camera goes down very gently, so it's like, I don't really know.
I'm going down, but slowly.
We spent a lot of money on this camera. Let's just place it down nice and gently. Matt comes back and says he's over all of this, complaining that his eyes hurt, his stomach hurts, and he just wants to go home. So now they're running and they find a cabin. Eventually, Kaylee and Jay find the same cabin, and all she keeps saying is something took her. As she's telling them it wasn't human, he's staring in the other camera, and his eyes are black and blood is all over his face. I don't know how that happened. But he then turns around and attacks Kaylee, and the CGI on his eyes doesn't manage to stay in place.
So fucking it doesn't.
It's like it's like this, and then he goes like this, and it's
line up right.
Yeah,
it's fucking terrible.
Look, I commend the effort. All right,
I A's for efforts right now.
Like with my short film, I wrote the script, I got the cast together, I shot listed everything. We were getting ready to go film, and then my wife at the time was working overnights. So I had to stay home with the kid. She was supposed to be home that night so I can go film. She got called into work, so I couldn't go film. But we already had the location. We already had the actors. It had to get done. So I pretty much directed from an iPad.
There you go.
I like
go on.
FaceTimed in and spoke to my DP and my producing partner, and was like, hey, these are all the shots that we need to get. A little did I know that the DP did not know how to properly use his camera. It was shot on the Blackmagic Pocket 4K, which I have now, which I'm very well versed in. He only got maybe a quarter of the shots that I asked for on the shot list, and then a whole bunch of other shit. He didn't like color balance any of the shots. So the color temperature is all over the place in like every single shot. He didn't shoot in Blackmagic RAW. He shot in compressed 1080p. So like the shit that I can do to, like, you've seen what I've done. I would record the podcast on Raw, and then I'd be
Oh,
like, yeah,
yeah.
it's like 300 gigs, and I have to like get it down to
Minimize the
I
shit out of it.
I have to like color grade everything and like do all that stuff. I couldn't do any of that because it wasn't raw, it wasn't log, it was already compressed. The color profile was baked into it. There was nothing I can do. So
Damn,
I did the best I could, and I put it out. But part of what the shot list was for was so that the spectral being that's supposed to kill the guy could be added in post as CG. But they didn't get the shots I needed for like those shots to work. They kept having my producing partner act as the guy in the with a knife, and it's like, well, that doesn't work. So I've been trying to figure out how to like basically cut him out and replace it. And so it's like I'm teaching myself fucking After Effects. I'm teaching myself the one in DaVinci Resolve. There's new programs that'll pretty much, if I can come up with like just a character design instead of like what it was and shit, that it'll through AI fucking rotoscope everything and replace it. So it's like I'm trying to teach myself all that. So the eye effect looked great until he moved. Then it didn't track properly. So yeah. I understand what they were going for. That's why it's like I commend their effort. I understand how hard that is when you probably have never done it before. So that's like the one thing I won't knock them on, because that's a son of a bitch. And it might even be something where the monitor that you're looking on when you're editing, he might not even realize that for like a couple of frames it's not lined up properly. But then he throws, I think, Jay, because I think Jay is trying to get him off of Kaylee, because I think Jay and Kaylee are trying to fuck. So I think Matt throws Jay into a wall and then grabs Kaylee and runs out of the cabin. Now, how is she not fighting back at all as he's trying to pull her out? Like, she's not like over his shoulders and shit. Both guys go running into the dark to find Kaylee and somehow get separated. I still don't know how that happened. Jay is calling out for Kaylee, and I think Jay sees Park Ranger Paul and then immediately goes back to calling out for Kaylee.
Because screaming out for another person in the middle of the woods that you're trying to get away from something from makes a lot of sense.
But then he climbs
into exactly where I'm at.
Yeah, but then he climbs into Logan's tent, and then I think we start hearing what I assume was Logan's last stream. I think.
Oh yeah, the end of the stream.
Yeah,
it like lines it up to that.
Then he climbs into the tent. Then Logan comes stumbling into the tent, bloodied, and he grabs the camera. I was really confused because we're hearing the live stream, but we don't see Jay pick up a camera. Also, if the camera was live streaming, how is it also recording if it's probably on a phone? And how did it still have any power to now be playing the entire recorded live stream?
Dude, do you see the camera lasted longer than any camera ever fucking made. I said that too. I was like, listen, because you can see with the battery. I was like, dude, honestly, the camera would have died a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't make any sense.
Logan tells his viewers, if they're still watching, that he needs help and is in trouble. He lost his contacts and he can't see.
But he
fell and was impaled by what he calls a twig. That shit is way too big to be a twig.
That's not a twig. It was like a piece of branch, or if anything.
Yeah.
It was a quite hefty thickness and length.
So he tells his viewers to call the cops and for people to not go look for him. That's kind of a mixed signal, but sure. Camera starts to glitch out, and he says that the thing that hurt him is the woods itself. We cut back to Jay climbing out of the tent and calling for Kaylee, but it's Cassie with her back turned to him. Turns her around, her eyes are now blacked out and her mouth is bloody, just like Matt's was. She attacks him while saying over and over again, "You called me Kaylee." He throws her to the ground, telling her to stop and asking why she's laughing. No answer, just giggles. He tells her he doesn't want to do this when the camera turns around and we see the dude from earlier in a ghillie suit with an antler mask on.
Yeah.
It cuts
trying to be the Wendigo guy.
Yeah, it cuts to black. Yeah, it cuts to a black and white POV, and Jay kills Cassie with I think a monopod, but I don't really know. It could have just been a stick. Back at the cabin, TJ is hiding and blocks the door. Then for some reason he gets the bright idea to leave, but slams the door shut because Matt is outside and he doesn't want to show us Matt. Matt tries kicking in the door, laughing and yelling that he only wants the camera. The kicking stops. He opens the door to find Matt gone and Kaylee coughing and bloody climbing out of a tent.
Yeah, it was I'm pretty sure it's the tent that what's his name was in.
Brings her inside and she attacks him. TJ kicks her off of him and goes running into the woods. Jay calls out for TJ. Eventually TJ finds him. Yeah, TJ eventually finds Jay, but he's all fucked up. And then a demonic Logan comes out and chases him. He makes it back to the park entrance and Paul is pulling up. Paul gets out and is attacked by Kaylee, which I think is in the trailer. So TJ turns around and runs back into the woods. Not the road you're on.
Not the road that you're...
Just running out of the... You turn back into... Sure, man. Eventually cornered by everyone. And the Wendigo.
The Wendigo.
He's killed as the camera glitches out. The next morning... Park Ranger Paul wakes up bloody in a field, finding TJ's camera and calls out for him when we cut to a title card. We get a mid-credit scene with Tim. I have no fucking clue who Tim is. He just watched the footage. I have no idea how he got the footage. Apparently, he knows TJ. He said he was hanging out with TJ and Amanda. Who the fuck is Amanda? Before they went out to shoot videos. They never expected anything to happen, and then Dawn, who the fuck is Dawn, experienced something similar in Tennessee. But apparently, talking things through with Dawn, apparently talking things through with Dawn made him not scared anymore. Now he just wants answers, and TJ and Amanda deserve answers, and he's going to find them. So maybe a sequel?
They better not be.
And that's the end of the Wendigo.
Thank goodness.
Now, as a little added bonus thing.
God, there should be no bonuses with this.
This whole like mid-credit scene thing,
there's no reason for it.
It was so fucking confusing. I had no idea what the fuck this was about. So I had to like go fucking digging to figure shit out.
Okay, so what did you find?
So after some digging, this movie is apparently connected to The Mothman, which was made in 2022.
See? Yes, okay. Is that the same Mothman?
It was written and directed by Joshua Brucker.
Okay.
In that movie, Tim and Amanda are the main actors in that. TJ appeared, played again by Jake Robinson. He was also the cinematographer of that film, and the director Brucker of that was an associate producer on The Wendigo. So basically, they got together, they made The Wendigo, and the TJ character that Jake Robinson played apparently like survived whatever the fuck happened in that. And then he went to go find his friend in the Wendigo. And then I think there's possibly another film coming out that ties everything together, but none of this is ever
confirmed.
Yeah. Like
told that it's canon to each other.
All the shit with Tim and Amanda and how it relates to TJ should have been the beginning of the film, the absolute beginning. Even if it's like, say, because I haven't watched Mothman yet. Say TJ appeared in it for like, I don't know,
split second,
like 4 minutes. I don't know what he's there for. I know he's the cinematographer of it. I don't know if he was supposed to be their cameraman, Tim and Amanda's cameraman. I don't know if that was the thing, but if he was in it for like a short amount of time, that clip of him there should have been there. Or if there was something like at the end after stuff happened to Amanda, they were talking about it or something, like that should have been there, so that so then you would know like, oh, something else happened beforehand and this is like his own thing that has to get done. You could put like, you know, a year later or whatever, because apparently after whatever happened to Amanda made Tim a shut-in and give up everything, and then he met with Dawn, and now he's not scared, so he's gonna find answers. It's like, if we had any context for what any of that fucking meant at like the beginning of the movie, this would have way more weight at the end. Instead, I had to go down a fucking rabbit hole to try to find this information.
The rabbit hole
is just fucking stupid.
Want to be down.
Yeah, but anyway, final thoughts. What'd you think of this film?
Don't ever fucking watch this movie. It's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, no.
There's no redeeming qualities of this movie. It was very fucking boring. I mean, fucking boring.
Yeah.
They want to be found footage, but they don't know what the fuck they're doing in the film to be a found footage. It's fucking terrible.
How did he get the footage? Like at the end,
Who the fuck picked it up? Who picked it up? who gave it to anybody. It doesn't make any sense.
It's like even if you had Park Ranger Paul had like a scene or something with them meeting at some point, like, hey, this is fucking weird, gives it to him, and he finds out, oh god, this was fucking whoever or whatever, that would have made sense. But I don't know. The audio wasn't bad in the beginning of the movie with Logan.
It just got worse.
And then it got worse. I had a weird frame rate issue. It was something that I never got to ask you about. I think it was like in the beginning of the film with Logan. The audio was fine, but the video felt weird. Like there was like artifacting and stuff, and I didn't know. I had no clue if it was the movie or if it was Tubi, because Tubi has a dog shit 720p limit. That's as high as it goes. So it's like, if you want to put your movie on Tubi, you have to send them a 720p like resolution file
video,
and that's what they put on. They don't do 4K. They don't do it's 720p. It's so fucking stupid, but it's probably because everything is free and it's run off ads. 720p is a lot less fucking bandwidth than trying to run a fucking 4K, 6K, 8K video, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, it corrected itself later, so it's like, I don't fucking know. With the movie being a little over an hour long, most of that runtime was taken up by either walking and talking or driving and talking, where nothing happens.
Had no relevant. The fucking
nothing happens.
Scenes were the worst scenes.
Yep, because nothing happens and nothing is like explaining the plot. At no point do they sit there and go, what the fuck was Logan out here doing? Oh, he was trying to find the Wendigo, and then explaining everything about the Wendigo. That's a good like 10-minute scene, and then that would cut out the need for all this other needless walking and talking. So they could have, like, 30 minutes, about 30 minutes of this could have been cut out. I probably would have liked it a lot more because it would have been a lot quicker. It would have only been about a half hour. You know, because it would have worked better as a short instead of a feature length, but it's like, it's whatever. Acting wasn't great, but the actors for Matt and Cassie were by far the fucking worst. The script was bad, if they even had a script. The cinematography was bad. I'm fine with some camera shake. You understand that, like,
there was a lot of camera
it's found
shake.
Footage. There was so much fucking camera shake.
But I didn't get nauseous when I was watching Blair Witch and any other real one.
It's like, you got $5,000. The cameras I see everyone using look like old cameras. None of these look like newer cameras for 2022. Some of that money could have been used to buy a gimbal for the main fucking camera. It doesn't even need to be like a fucking, like a name brand DJI super fucking expensive gimbal. You can get fucking Chinese made fucking gimbals for like dirt cheap.
That work just the same.
Yeah, you would have to fucking run. You could have created like a fucking anything to like watch the amount of shake, because it was nauseating. It was overall, I had a really bad time watching this film, and I don't want to see that Mothman movie, but I'm gonna have to see it just to see if it's any better than this. Like, I'm gonna have to. I don't know if it will be, because that dude Tim's acting at the end was not fucking great, and if that's what we got to work with in the next movie, like in the first movie, I don't have high hopes. but it's like, I'll still check it out to see if I can find it. I think it's possibly on Tubi.
There's a lot of the Mothman movies that you don't know. You're gonna have to make sure you look in the description to figure out which one.
For me, this is a 1 out of 5.
It's a 1 out of 5, a hard one.
Yeah, bro, I'm so mad with this season.
There's not one that's redeemable.
It's like Unknown Visitors.
The only one that had any kind of substance enough for us to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't that good. They fucked that up too.
Yeah, because like next up we have Tokyo Gore Police, which...
That is such... I am so sorry for that.
I thought I had seen that because I loved Audition, and the main actress from Audition, the Japanese horror film Audition, she's the main actress in Tokyo Gore Police. That movie had a real budget, and I watched it and I was like, oh, that's not great. And you're like, no, it's got to be good. It's that. I was like, all right, be prepared for a chair that's made out of a woman that pisses on people.
Yeah,
if that's, you know. And then when you told me, so is this okay for me to watch like downstairs with Travis around?
That's why I was like, I always ask, and I'm so glad I didn't, because even watching it by myself in the basement, I was like, dude, I'm fucking... It was harsh. I was like, it takes a lot for me to look away, and I was like, fuck, man, this is bad.
So that is it for episode 57 of the
7.
Spooky Horror Show podcast. Anthony's computer is all fixed, so we should be able to get more of the podcasts done now. He also has the updated studio version of DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci Resolve.
So he might even be able to help me with some editing, because you still need to work on the show that you want to do.
Yes.
Your Versus show. I'm sure during all this downtime from the podcast due to the PC being broken, you haven't done any of that.
No, why would I have done that? I was too busy trying to figure out how to do some sort of game, something going on.
But yeah, so I'd say hopefully we'll get the content going back. We'll get back into the flow of things. But thank you everybody very much, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Later.